Hey guys, it's Sophie. So as I mentioned in my last video, I have this entire week off of work and just sort of recharge my batteries a little bit. I am studying at the same time and I'm planning on doing a fair bit of studying in that time as well, get a few units under my belt, but a lot of it will be reading, a lot of it will be video games and TV and fun stuff. So what I thought I'd do is a quick sort of TBR just for this week. Almost as though it were like a readathon, but obviously there's no readathon on that I'm aware of for this week. So I'll just jump straight into it with you. So the book I'm currently reading is Birdie by William Wharton. This is one I was quite reluctant to pick up and I sort of bought it on a whim, really cheap because it has, can you see, someone's like split the spine with a knife or something, I don't know, like undoing the packaging. So really cheap, I think it was like 50p, but it is a really pretty book. Sort of got all these feathers on it, and it's really intriguing. I am about 160 of 300 pages in at the moment, and basically it's about a man who believes that he is a bird and is in a mental hospital sort of acting like a bird would, and it's sort of by his friend Alfonso and the boy Birdie, and it's sort of about their childhood and how Birdie used to have all of these canaries and these pigeons, and how he kind of got obsessed with flying and the idea of flying and birds in general. So I should probably finish this one off, if not today then maybe tomorrow. And then the next two are books that I picked out from the month TBR, so I will almost certainly read more than my month's TBR in any given month. I tend to pick sort of 10 to 15 books but would read maybe 20 books. So these are just two I've picked out for this week. So the first one is Gravity by Tess Gerritsen, and this is a sci-fi novel. The basic premise is, I believe, that a group of astronauts have gone off in a ship and they have managed to get sort of a contagion, some sort of virus, and it's whether or not they're allowed to come back to Earth, and sort of the petitions of the family to let them come back. So yeah, I am quite excited for this one at the moment. It was one I considered unhauling, but I think it could be quite interesting, and I have my 50-page rule as always, so if I don't like it then I can just dump it. It's not even that long, so yeah, I mean, I think I will definitely give this one a try, and it's not one I'm just about to discount straight off. I do think the premise sounds really interesting. And then the next book is the other one from my TBR, and it's The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. This one's about H.H. Holmes and his murders in the Chicago World Fair. It's a 2015 buy for me, and I am excited to start this one. I've sort of waned in my enthusiasm since I bought it because I was so excited when I bought it, but I do think it's going to be really good. It's also really nicely laid out. So it has just these tiny little markings there instead of like just breaks. And then at the beginning of each part it has a little picture and just a little bit of what it was and what's going on, to give some sort of context to it. So hopefully I'm going to get to this one this week, and I think probably it's going to be quite a quick read. I tend to find that true crime for me is something that I just sort of blast through. Often I read it in one sitting. It's a slightly larger true crime book, to be honest. It's sort of 400 pages. They tend to hover around the 300-page mark for sort of contemporary serial killers. But yeah, I do think this will be interesting. It'll be really fun to see the way that the sort of timing that it happened affected sort of the way it's perceived. So this will just be a good one this week, and if I do enjoy it I will recommend it to you, because I think it can, true crime will sort of fall out of people's sort of attention span sometimes, so I try and do my best to put them out there when it is a really good book by a really good author. So we'll see how this one is and I'll let you know soon. And the next one is one that I put on my TBR, but I actually, at the moment, I'm not sure I would read it. So the plan is to try and start it, and if I don't like it then that's fine. And it is The Sea Inside by Philip Hoare. So I basically bought it because it's beautiful. And it was £1 in a sort of discount bookshop, but I didn't really know that much about it. And it doesn't hold a particular interest in me at the moment. It's basically about a man who, it's a sort of non-fiction kind of memoir, who writes about the sea as like a topic and sort of explores how it interacts with his life. So like he might talk about, I don't know, like sea urchins or whatever, and then go on and say how sea urchins relate to his life. But it is really quite large, and from what I've read, because I've sort of randomly chosen pages and just sort of said like, oh, is it the kind of thing I enjoy? The writing style isn't my cup of tea. So we'll see how it goes. It might be really good, I don't know. It is beautiful, which is why I don't want to get rid of it. I don't think if it was just plain, it would already be gone. But I will give it a go this week, I think, and if I don't like it, I will give it to a charity shop because I'm sure someone else will be interested in this. It is an interesting sort of idea, it's just I'm not quite sure that I'm going to enjoy it that much, and it's not something that particularly sort of grabs me at the moment. And then the last book I have for this week, I just think I will read it, is Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. I'd planned on saving this for next month, but the reality is I will more than likely pick this one up and read it, probably in between some of the other ones from my TBR. I just love them so much, and I don't see that there's too much of an issue with me picking them up and reading them, and if I'm still enjoying them, just buying another Murakami, so I constantly have a Murakami to read at some point. So I think probably I will read that one too. So all in all, I have 5 books here that I think I will have a go at this week. Birdie I will certainly finish. I more than suspect that I will finish Norwegian Wood. Gravity, we will see. I think I might like it. This one, Devil in the White City, I think I will enjoy it. I think it's just a case of me like kicking myself up the arse to read it. This one I'm not so sure of, but if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's not the end of the world. It's £1 and I can give it to someone else who will really enjoy it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to try and catch up on some tags and some other sort of video ideas I have this week. I won't be doing one a day, I don't think, but I will try and do regular videos throughout this week whilst I have some time and I can talk to you all. So have a lovely day, have a lovely week, whether you're working, whether you're not, whatever it is you're doing, have fun and happy reading. Bye bye. So I've actually got a little bit of an addendum to add on to the end of this video. I actually put it all together, edited it, got ready to go, and then decided I kind of wanted a coffee and ended up in the library. So I have a little bit of a library haul to add to my TBR for this week, just to mix it up a bit, make it a bit more interesting, a few graphic novels. So the first one that I borrowed was Eustace by S.J. Harris, and I read this one in a coffee shop in pretty much just one go, just sat down and did it. It's really creepy, really weird, and I always don't want to give it away, but yeah, you should read it. I think the very last bit made it like, oh shit, I didn't really know that. Just to show the art style. It's all sort of very creepy. They all have really long, like weird faces, and it's all like handwriting. So you probably saw that. It's like it's been written by someone in pencil. It's really weird. It's really creepy. I am glad I didn't buy it myself. I'm glad I borrowed it because it's so expensive. And graphic novels, I don't think I've ever sat down and not finished it in one sitting. But I did very much enjoy it, and yeah, it was really funny, and I really liked all the characters. I thought it was really good. So then the next one I picked up from the library was Lock and Key Volume 1. So I've heard a fair amount of booktubers talking about this one, especially people who like graphic novels. They seem to think this is really good. So I figured, you know what, there's like 6 of them I think, so why not pick one up from the library, see if I like it or not, rather than starting something that I don't know I'm going to like. So quite often I will buy the first book in the series and then I feel like compelled to finish the series when I own them. So I thought, you know what, let's borrow the first one, see how it goes, and if I love them then I can always purchase them all. And this is the art style of this one. So I might read this one this afternoon. I think I'll probably finish Birdie before I read another one. But I love graphic novels. I love being able to just pick them up and just have something and then read it and it's done. And the next one is one that I've heard quite a lot of mixed reviews about. Some people seem to love it, some people hate it, and that is Persepolis by Mary Jane Saprati, I think. Yeah, it's a very pretty book. It's about a girl, I think in Iran, sort of talking about her family and her life. I think it's supposed to be quite funny. It's all black and white, I believe. Yeah, so that's the style of that one. We'll see what I think of this one. It's really short, even though it is sort of hardback, it's tiny. So again, I should finish this in one sitting. I'll probably do exactly the same. I'll finish a full novel and then reward myself with a little graphic novel at the end. And then the last one I picked up was The Tent by Margaret Atwood. So I've heard a few people talking about Margaret Atwood and she seems to be quite popular. I'd never read anything by her before. I've never really heard of her that much. I mean, I've seen the books around, but I've not interacted with it at all. So this is just a collection of short stories. It's quite a small collection, so that'd be a good place to start. And she does have some quite sort of larger more dense novels as well from what I've seen, so I thought short stories first, see if I like the style, and then we'll see whether in a haul in future months I might pick something else up by her. So yeah, to add on to those other 5 books, I've got 3 graphic novels, one of which I've already read, and 1 collection of short stories just to mix things up. And one more thing before I go, because I finished Eustace today, that means I've hit my 100 books Goodreads challenge for the year, which is crazy. I read 60 books last year and it's only July and I've finished it. So that is insane to me. I'm not going to raise it because at the beginning of the year I thought I'd read 100 and we'll just see what I do over and above. I don't want to keep changing the goals. I want to make a goal at the beginning of the year, and if I exceed it, brilliant. Like last year was 50 books and I did 60, and this year, who knows. So that's really exciting for me. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like that's an awful lot of books to have read in a year. And yeah, it's just incredible. Like, I feel as though I've read some really, really good books this year, and it feels like it's totally been worth all the time I've spent reading. I don't know that next year I will maybe have such an ambitious goal. I might go back to sort of 50 again when my TBR's down, because I've had quite an intense reading year so far. But we'll see how it goes, and thank you for sort of watching this a little bit. Bye bye.